Hey everybody, Sam Kavaris in the Nimnik Sports Update. The Jaguars fall to 1-3, losing to the Saints 23-10. And when you break the game down, it comes down to a couple of things. They didn't score touchdowns when they needed to. They didn't convert on third or fourth downs a couple times when they needed to. The Saints, Drew Brees put on a clinic a couple of times when he needed to, particularly when they took a 14-0 lead. But on the other hand, the Jaguars got first-round draft pick Blaine Gabbert in the first half when they started with 7 consecutive passes. And then they got rookie Blaine Gabbert in the second half when he had like 10 straight incompletions and the interception. You're going to get that with a rookie quarterback. But everybody else has got to kind of play their regular game and get things done. Yes, Maurice Jones-Drew carried the ball 3 times for 0 yards in the first half. But in the second half, he ripped off a 41-yarder. There were things that were going the Jaguars' way in certain parts of the game that the Saints couldn't do anything about, but the Jaguars were the ones who stopped themselves. They've got to recognize that at this point, nobody in here, maybe nobody out there, maybe the only people that thought were in the locker room of the Jaguars, that the Jaguars are going to beat the Saints. Come on, be honest. At the beginning of the year, you look at the schedules just like everybody else, and you go, okay, win, loss, loss, win, whatever. Well, the way this season started, you figured, well, they'd beat the Titans, they'd lose to the Jets. They'd beat the Panthers, they'd lose to the Saints. Okay, so they're one game behind that. They're now 1-3. Next week, you said, oh, and they'll beat the Bengals here. All right, well, if they do, they're 2-3, still one behind it. If they lose and they're 1-4, now it's this, it's not good. So this is where the Jaguars have got to believe that they can get the job done. At home against the team that obviously came up with a very big win against Buffalo. But the Jaguars showed against one of the elite teams in the league, certainly the elite team in the NFC, one of the 2 elite teams in the NFC, that they can play with them when they just play their game. And I think it comes down to coaching and what Jack Del Rio does this week and what the entire coaching staff does. What tone do they set? And what they need to say is, look, guys, there are so many situations in this game where we could have taken it over and beat one of the best teams in the league by consensus. Your best is good enough. Go out there and show it. They haven't done that yet. Hopefully they'll do that against the Bengals. By the way, we're talking about this way, and the Saints had over 500 yards in the game, the third most the Jaguars have ever given up, and they only scored 23 points. Final thing, the Brantley injury, not as serious as everybody originally thought. Might be just a high ankle sprain according to late reports on Sunday night. We'll update you on that. If so, he'll be back this year. Probably not against LSU. I'm Sam Kavaris, and that's the Nimnik Sports Update.